Today's social media segment is brought to you by Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. CIS, Cardiovascular Institute of the South, the highest quality cardiovascular care available. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality.
I'd like to call the meeting of the Terrebonne Parish Council of Wednesday, April 10th, 2024 to order. We will have the invocation and pledge of allegiance by Councilwoman Kim Chauvin. Please rise.
As we gather together this evening, we humbly come before you, recognizing your authority over all things. We acknowledge that the decisions we make here have the potential to impact the lives of many people within our community and beyond. Grant us the wisdom to discern what is right and just. May our hearts be filled with compassion, empathy, and understanding for those whom our decisions will affect. Guide our thoughts, words, and actions that they may be aligned with your will and guided by your love. Grant us the courage to stand up for righteousness and justice, even in the face of challenges and opposition. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag.
Ms. Smith, may we have a roll call, please?
Yes, sir. Mr. Babin, Ms. Chauvin, Mr. Trusclair, Mr. Pleasure, Mr. Harding, Mr. Voisin, Mr. Amity,
Here.
Mr. Champagne, Mr. Hamner. Mr. Chairman, you have a quorum present.
Thank you, ma'am. Approved minutes of the regular council session held on March 13th, 2024. Moved by Mr. Harding. Second, Mr. Babin. Members, vote your machines. 9 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries. Distribute the minutes of the regular council session held on March 27th, 2024. That's been done. Approve accounts payable bill list for 4/1/2024 and 4/8/2024. Moved by Mr. Pleasure, second by Mr. Harding. Members, vote your machines. 9 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries. Manual check listing, February 2024. We don't need a motion on that. Item one.
Yeah, we do.
We do? We do? Well, we have a motion by Mr. Pleasure, second by Mr. Trusclair. Members, vote your machines. Yeah, it's just another checklist. 9 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries. Item one, general business. A, recognizing the Terrebonne Parish Recreation U10 and U12 Girls Biddy Basketball World Biddy Tournament Champions, Mr. Danny Babin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, it's my pleasure to be able to bring all of these people here tonight so we can recognize these young ladies and their accomplishments. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Bobby Orsino to come up to the microphone. Bobby is the girls' supervisor for TPR, we'll call it, and quality of life now. And as a matter of fact, in January, Bobby will have served this parish 50 years in recreation, okay? So I think we need to applaud him on that. And actually also, he spent 30 years with Rec 2-3 in the recreation district as well. So again, Bobby, if you'd come up and we'll, what we're gonna do, well, why don't you just give us a little overview of what happened in this tournament, please?
Okay, so thank you, Danny. First of all, I want to thank the council for doing this for these young ladies. They're well-deserved, and we really appreciate it. These two teams are 10s and 12s, 10-year-olds, of course, national champions, and 12-year-olds. Outstanding season. Won plenty games, didn't lose, but the 12s didn't lose any games. The 10s might have lost one at the most. Just kidding. I was making sure y'all were listening back there. No, no, they won it. We won every tournament. I mean, it's just a great season with these girls. I want to thank our coaches. A lot of people don't realize how much time a coach puts in to coaching one of these teams. And you spend your league games playing, then you go to All-Star. It's weeknights practice and it's weekends playing. So they put a lot of time in to make us very successful. And I want to thank those ladies and gentlemen for doing that. I want to thank our parents. All these parents had to get these kids to practice and to games out of town every weekend. So another thank you to them because they took care of that very good. And because we didn't play down the street. We were in New Orleans playing. We were in Donaldsonville, down in South LaFourche. So anyway, I want to thank them for their time and efforts to get that. Other than that, again, thank you for doing this for the girls, and I'm honored to be here to represent them tonight.
And listen, I want to mention, there was a team from Finland in this tournament a couple of weeks ago, from Finland.
Yeah.
And our girls, I'm sorry, I forget which one, the 10
12s.
and 12, the 12-year-olds beat a team from Finland.
Yeah, 12
So
years, yeah.
that's, all right, what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna ask the coaches to come up. That's Coach Cortez Templet, Christopher Templet, and Sierra Lyons. If y'all could come up, I'm gonna hand you the mic, and then y'all can call the girls up, and they'll get their certificates.
That's the 12-year-old coach.
Oh, I did the 12s. I'm sorry. Excuse me. I grabbed the wrong one.
Mackey.
Let's do the 10-year-olds first. Ryan Williams, Travis Ward, and Latranya Mott. Is that the way you pronounce it? I'm sorry if I mispronounce. And then that's the list. Yeah, you want you. Yeah, here you go. Give it to the coach. Do what? You want them to come up here to take the picture? Come up here, yeah, I will. Yeah.
We can split them up. Let's split them up. Okay, the first name for the tens, Jasa Thompson. Who next?
Congratulations.
Cambry Ray. Aria Lazard.
Congrats.
Good job, dude.
Darla Johnson.
Down the line, down the line, down the line.
Yeah, come down the line.
Lexi Verdin.
Good job,
Congrats,
sweetie.
congrats. Some Shiloh graves. Congrats.
Darnay Hester. Colby Frank.
It's cute little thing.
Congrats.
Sidra Mitchell.
Good job.
London Thomas.
Congrats. Good job. Good job.
Hollyana Ladybug Phillip. Janala Moore,
Good job, Ladybug.
The Ladybug Ball's coming up at,
Yamori Wade.
Good job. Congrats. Good job. Good job.
all right. Y'all coaches, y'all come in here. Come on, ladies.
Get them close and get them.
Can we all
You
have,
t-
can I
yeah,
have
he'll
them all
tell.
switch over a little bit, please?
Congrats.
Good
Switch over
job.
just a
Thank you,
little bit.
dear. And if I mispronounce the name, I apologize. Bobby, get in there with him. Get in there, Bobby. 50 years? That's older than me, Bobby.
Bobby.
That's older than me, Bobby. That is older than you. That's
All right. 3, 2, 1.
good job, girls. Okay, now we got the 12s. They were undefeated. They reminded us that they were undefeated, okay? All right, and then the 12-year-olds, the coaches are Cortez Temple, Christopher Temple, and Sierra Lines. Say again? Chris Short.
Yeah, I know.
That is the 12, huh?
That's what's here.
Okay.
For recognizing our girls. Malaysia Mouton, she is in here. Symphony Short.
Okay.
Shake everybody's hand and,
Everybody hands.
All right.
and walk
Good
behind.
job, dear.
Emery Ingram. Zoe Williams.
Congrats. Good job.
Kennedy Mahoney. Jariana Williams. Janariel Calloway.
I would have screwed those names up, that's why I don't get them. See the difference between 10 and 12.
Carter Ebony Carter.
Good job, guys. Congrats.
London White.
Good job, good job.
Jordan Castle. Kobe Mahoney. Shake hands. Alasia George.
Good job.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Thank y'all.
Good job. Yeah. And again, everyone, I'd like to thank all you young ladies for representing yourself, your family, and this community so well, and congratulations.
Mr. Pleasure?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think it also should be noted that Miss Sierra Lyons, she was the coach of the volleyball team, and I think we've started a trend here with the championship teams here for our Terrebonne Parish Parks and Recreation, or our Quality of Life Now department. But it's a great thing to be able to know a lot of these coaches, and we have Hall of Fame coaches here in Terrebonne Parish that are producing championship, world championship, state championship teams, and I think that should be noted as well. So I'd like for everybody just to give them all a hand again, please.
Thank you, Mr. Pleasure. Item B is a proclamation proclaiming the day of April 19th, 2024 as Autism Acceptance Day. Mr. Hamner?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's with great pleasure that I read this proclamation naming April 19th as Autism Acceptance Day. The proclamation reads, whereas Autism Acceptance Day is recognized nationally during the month of April to celebrate and promote the acceptance of autism, the condition that occurs in one of every 54 children in the United States as of 2020. And whereas autism is a complex developmental condition that affects an individual's ability to interact, communicate, and progress, while also being the fastest growing developmental disability in the world. And whereas in 1972, the Autism Society first held a nationwide awareness campaign to promote the acceptance of, celebrate the differences of, and encourage the inclusion of autistic individuals, which eventually became the Autism Acceptance Day recognized today. And whereas the Autism Society today provides tools such as community partnerships, digital and print resources, and other awareness campaigns to spark empathy and inclusivity for many of the 600,000 people living under the autism onslaught. And whereas each April, we are encouraged to build and foster an inclusive community where autistic individuals are embraced and supported to achieve the highest quality of life possible. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Terrebonne Parish Council on behalf of the parish president and the entire Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government that the day of April 19, 2024 be hereby proclaimed as Autism Acceptance Day, and that all residents be encouraged to celebrate the differences of, learn more about, and empower autistic individuals in and through their communities. Presented this 10th day of April 2024. And it's signed by Parish President Jason Bergeron, Council Chairman John Amity, and Superintendent of Schools Bubba Angeron. At this time, I'd like to call on Superintendent Bubba Angeron to maybe say a few words, and also recognize Mr. Blaise Pellegrin, our Supervisor of Special Education for the Terrebonne Parish School System.
Well, good evening, everyone. So we're thankful to embark on this endeavor with you guys as a joint effort. So we can do everything we can as a school system and as a community to educate and come up with strategies like the proclamation said to help these students and citizens with autism thrive and excel, be successful citizens. So thank you for this cooperative agreement and endeavor that we're going to go on this awareness and educational journey of autism. I have with us tonight Mr. Blaise Pellegrin, who's really instrumental in a lot of the educational aspects of working with students with autism, and he's doing a great job. So thank you, Blaise, for that, as from the school board's perspective. So thank you all. Thank you.
You want to go? Yeah. Hang on, Mr. Argeron. We're going to take a picture.
With me, Bubba.
And Mr. Pellegrin, if you want to say a few things after, you're more than welcome.
And just to add on to what Mr. Orgeron said, it's great that we're doing this together. We really feel that it's important that we can build this community relationship with the parish government. And we want to make sure that all citizens of Terrebonne Parish are represented. And by recognizing, of course, our autistics and those other students that have disabilities, we really feel that we're going to create this inclusive environment and a community that they can all be a part of. So thank you again.
Thank you, and we certainly appreciate you guys coming tonight. Item C, resolution approving the holding of an election in Cocho Fire Protection District of the Parish of Terrebonne, State of Louisiana, on Tuesday, November 5th, 2024, to authorize the renewal of a special tax therein. Who was that? Mr. Champagne makes a motion, seconded by Mr. Mr. Harding. Members, vote your machines. 9 yeas, 0 nays, the motion carries. Item D is a resolution approving the holding of an election in Fire Protection District Number 9 of the Parish of Terrebonne, State of Louisiana, on Tuesday, November 5th, 2024, to authorize the renewal of a special tax therein. Move, Mr. Babin.
Second.
Second, Mr. Champagne. Members, vote your machines. Nine yeas, 0 nays, motion carries. Public wishing to address the council. Item A, as per speaker cards in accordance with Section 2-07E of the Terrebonne Parish Home Rule Charter, the public will be heard and can speak for 3 minutes on any matter related to parish government without discussion or questions and answers on non-agenda items. I have a speaker card from Ms. Emma Daggs. Ms. Daggs, if you can come up to the podium. And Ms. Daggs, can you please give us your name and address for the record?
Good afternoon. My name is Mrs. Emia S. Daggs. I live at 205 Riley Drive, Houma, Louisiana, 70363. I would like to speak on what need to be done in Paragon Park subdivision. We have blighted houses from the hurricane. I've gone to the place over there for blighted property at least 6 times. I've gotten 0 from that. I've talked to our councilman, Mr. Pleasure. He's been helping me as much as possible. There are properties in there that should be torn down. It's about 4 eyesores in there. And we have to live in there. And I don't know any other place to go to get help to get that our subdivision cleaned up. If any of you have any suggestions, please let me know. I'll try it. But we do need help in Paragon Park subdivision. I don't know anywhere else that I can go to get that help. Thank you so much.
Ms. Daggs, please hang on for just a second. Your councilman would like to address.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Emma, I really do appreciate you coming down and echoing or sharing your concerns. And I'd just like to share with everyone that she's very passionate about Paragon Park, which is the northern portion of Bahia de Large. And the properties in question that you're talking about, 114, 123 Donald Drive, they are in poor shape. And I have reached out to our planning department, and since you've been reporting those some time ago, we kind of have a backlog right now, and it is unbelievable to the point where now we have special meetings for condemnations. Not making an excuse for that, but also, or for the issue, but at 200 and 201 Donald Drive.
Yes.
I do have that notated too as well. And just this past week, working with the folks in our nuisance abatement department, we have been actively working to resolve that issue. And they are in the works. It does take time, which we all know, but we do apologize for it taking so long to, to it getting to this point, to you having to come here to echo again that it is a problem. But we are aware of it, and I'm actively working on that for you. And I assure you that something will be done about that.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Pleasure. And again, thank you, Ms. Deggs, for coming and sharing your concerns. And it sounds like your councilman has it under control, but we'll certainly do whatever we need to. I have one other speaker card, but I'm gonna hold that one till a different item later on the agenda.
Motion going to 6:30.
We're right there, going into 6:30, public hearings. Item A, an ordinance to amend the 2024 adopted operating budget and 5-year capital outlay budget of the Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government for the following items and to provide for related matters. First is East Side Police Substation, $277,379. And number 1, consider the adoption, let me call for public. First call for public comment. Second call for public. Third and final call for public. I have a motion to close by Mr. Harding, seconded by Mr. Pledger. Members, vote your machines. 9 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries. Motion to adopt, Mr. Pledger, second, Mr. Harding. Eight yeas, 0 nays, motion is adopted. Item 3, committee reports. Item A, Budget and Finance Committee, Mr. Pledger.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I make a motion that the council accept and ratify the minutes of the Budget and Finance Committee meeting held on April 8th, 2024, and concur with the legal department's opinion that no action be taken on agenda item number 3, resolution in question awarding the request for proposal received for the transportation of solid waste garbage to land to Pelican Waste and Debris, LLC, and authorizing the parish president and/or his designee to execute all contract documents associated herewith, that it be removed from further council agendas and returned to the evaluation committee with instructions to reevaluate the proposals associated with the RFP in line with the advice from our legal department, and I have one public hearing. Consider the introduction of an ordinance to amend the 2024 adopted operating budget of the Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government for the following items and to provide for related matters. Item number 1, animal shelter, $59,990. Item number 2, transit, $17,458. Item number 3, housing and human services, Head Start HVAC systems, $67,000. And calling a public hearing on said matter on April 24th, 2024 at 6:30 p.m.
I have a motion by Mr. Pledger, a second by Mr. Harding, and Mr. Bergeron wishes to comment.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure on this RFP, there was a misinterpretation of the RFP, and we want to send it back to our team to regrade it based on the legal opinion provided by counsel. And I want to thank the public and the council for holding us accountable, and I guarantee we will be better in the future.
Thank you, Mr. Parish President. Members, vote your machines. 9 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries. Item B, Community Development and Planning Committee, Ms. Chauvin.
There we go. I make a motion that the council accept and ratify the minutes of the Community Development and Planning Committee held on April 8th, 2024, and I have 40 condemnation hearings. calling condemnation hearings on the following residential, commercial, residential mobile home, and accessory structures on April 23rd, 2024 at 5:30 PM. 309 Bayou Dularge Road, 8647 Park Avenue, 7549 Park Avenue, 7108 Grand Caillou Road, 6888 Grand Caillou Road, 1526 Barringer Street, 700 Morgan Street, 101 Casman Street, 4868 Shrimpers Row, 311 South Central Boulevard, 208 Sterling Drive, 6924 West Main Street, 623A Hobson Street, 623C Hobson Street, 1205 Mile Street, 210 Ackland Avenue, 107 Leeret Street, 212 Knockan Street, Apartment 9, 212 Knockan Street, Apartment 8, 212 Knockan Street, Apartment 7, 212 Knockan Street, Apartment B, 216 Knockan Street, 311 Dover Drive, 103 Royal Street, 7311 Shrimpers Row, 300 Prosperity Street, 4277 Country Drive, 246 Dana Lynn Street, 531 Roanoke Street, 7517 Main Street, 4746 North Bayou Black Drive, 1447 Highway 55, 2650 Anaheim Drive, 4745 Bayou Black Drive, 113 Ray Ellender Court, 4112 South Down Mandalay Road, 1605 Dunn Street, 1603 Dunn Street, 186 Ackland Avenue, 6443 Highway 56. Thank you.
So we have a motion by Ms. Chauvin. Second by Mr. Babin. Mr. Harding.
Yes, going back to Ms. Diggs. Ms. Diggs, she just read off a number of pieces of property. It's a difficult process that we actually go through that we have, even though the reporting system goes the way it does. And there are some circumstances that, I mean, just as any other thing, that we do something that's premature, we can be held liable for it. This is only a tip of the iceberg of Terrebonne Parish and how it looks. So, I mean, we look forward to going into the future to actually clear up the blighted property, but we must always understand some of this blighted property are held by people that are deceased, and we have to find certain things about that. But then we want to actually promote people to have their houses. And that's what we want to do. Along with getting rid of the blighted property, there's some people that cannot afford that. And we as a government are looking forward to find certain areas that we can actually support opportunities to actually have affordable housing. That's been a conversation that we've been actually having. Affordable housing and low to moderate income. So just be patient with us, and we're gonna actually do the best that we could up here. And I thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Harding. Members, vote your machines. Nine yeas, 0 nays, motion carries. Item C, Policy, Procedure, and Legal Committee, Mr. Hamner.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I make a motion that the council accept and ratify the minutes of the Policy, Procedure, and Legal Committee held April 8th, 2024. I have 2 public hearings. Consider the introduction of an ordinance authorizing the parish president to enter into a cooperative agreement with the Terrebonne Ministerial Alliances Incorporated and execute necessary documents for the transfer of immovable property from the Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government and Terrebonne Ministerial Alliances Incorporated, and to provide for related matters, and call a public hearing on Wednesday, April 24, 2024 at 6:30 p.m. Number 2, consider the adoption of an ordinance amending the Terrebonne Parish Code of Ordinances to provide for the usage of official seal by the Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government, elected officials, and call a public hearing on said matter on Wednesday, April 24, 2024 at 6:30 p.m.
So we have a motion by Mr. Hamner, second by Mr. Babin. Members, vote your machines. 9 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries. Item 4, streetlights. As per Mr. Babin, second Mr. Harding. Members vote your machines. 9 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries. Item 5, appointments to various boards, committees, and commissions. A, Children and Youth Services Board, 12 expired terms, each representing one of the following: Social Services, Education, Terrebonne Parish District Attorney, Department of Children and Family Services, Bayou Area Children Foundation, City Court, Terrebonne Recreation Department, Gulf Coast Teaching and Family Services, Terrebonne Parish Sheriff's Office, Houma Police Department, Terrebonne Parish School Board, and the Office of the District Public Defender, 32nd Judicial District. Mr. Matthew Ford, representing Education, submits application and resume for consideration.
Motion to appoint Mr. Matt Ford and hold the other 11.
So we have a motion by Mr. Harding to appoint Mr. Ford and hold the other 11 over. Second by Mr. Trosclair. Before we vote, Mr. Harris, did you want to speak on this? I see you in the audience. You want to tell us a little bit about this? I appreciate you being here tonight, sir. When you get to the mic, just please state your name and address for the record.
Joseph Harris, Juvenile Detention Center, 1214 Dewey Street, Houma, Louisiana, 70360. In reference to the Children Youth Service Planning Board, pretty much was established about 2005, 2006. I became a member of that board about 2014. We met and established the Spark Center, which this board is basically for to establish youth programming for Terrebonne Parish youth and help other agencies as a resource to plan on programming as well. So one of the things that we try to do on that board is to make sure that we have qualified services for our youth. As speaking of services, as Juvenile Detention Center Director, we are one of those services that provide service to our kids. So since 2014, that board is in existence up until, I want to say, the last minutes that I have or agenda that I have is 2019. So we're trying to reestablish that board at this present moment in time. The board does require us to have anywhere from 12 to 25 members. Of course, 25 is a lot. Mr. Matthew Ford, being appointed to that board currently, will be representative of the Education Department. Usually when those members are recommended, it usually comes from the superintendent of the school board systems. But we can have more than one member that represents those areas. So the other areas that we have open, I'm currently working to make those calls to have those individuals come back to the board. And hopefully within the next 30 to 45 days, we'll establish a meeting to get that board started up again to serve the parish.
Okay, Mr. Harris, Mr. Champagne.
Hey, Mr. Harris, I actually served on the board with Mr. Harris in 2014, 2015. And if you need some help finding people to serve, I'll be willing to make some phone calls and help recruit. The board was really important back then, and it's still important to make sure that we have things for the kids and good programming for the kids in the parish. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Champagne. Mr. Harding.
Yeah, I can. My sentiments are same as Kevin. I would support you in every way. You know, we've been trying to work on a program for those kids before they get to high school and things like that, and so we can have representation like we had earlier with world champions. So we want to actually address the issue across the board. Mr. Hamner had a proclamation with autism. So we want to take care of all our kids, those kids that have challenges. So we want to make an effort to do this, and I would do my part to try to rectify the problem that we have with our young kids.
Definitely.
Thank you, Mr. Harding. Ms. Chauvin?
My first question is, how long does the term last? And the second is, what types of programs does this provide?
Terms last 2 years for each individual. programs, anything from dealing from mental health, truancy, after-school programs, anywhere where we see a need within the parish itself. We want to try and target that area, reach out to other agencies to combine those resources to come up with a thriving programs across Terrebonne Parish, and not just the east side, west side, but Chauvin, Shreva, wherever we feel the need may be. We want to try and establish some quality programming.
Okay, and where does the funding come from?
Good question. Funding comes from different sources where we can solicit as us being an external agency outside of the parish, but parish employees being a part of that. So we try to raise those funds as best as we can. And if that fails, then we try to see what the parish can do to assist in those situations.
Yeah. I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms.
Appreciate
Chauvin. Mr. Parish President.
Yeah, I just want to comment. We did a walk through Mr. Harris's facility, and it's a top-notch facility in the region. We're servicing not just our parish, but other people throughout the region. And I just want to commend Mr. Harris and his team for the work that they do and the service they provide, because they're doing a great job over there.
Thank you, Mr. Parish President. Mr. Pledger.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Harris, I'm listening to the, some of the areas or departments that make up this board, or agencies that make up this board. Since Mr. Page is here, he has a jewel in his department, Miss Christy Howard. I think she would be ideal to work on a board like this as a consultant or something. We're using parish resources right there, and she'd be perfect to work with you guys too as well, if she doesn't already.
We're currently in conversation right now.
Well, she's all right. Well, all right. Thank you.
Y'all,
Check that.
Okay.
Mr. Harris, don't let grass grow under his feet. So, thank you for coming and sharing that. And to the public, I'll give you just a second, but to the public, if you're looking to get involved in your community, these are perfect examples where you can do it. It doesn't take a whole lot of time. It just takes a lot of heart. So I encourage you all to contact our council office. They can tell you how to fill out an application and make the right contacts to be able to get in on one of these departments, Mr. Harris.
Yeah, I just want to add that speaking of the conversation we're talking about the board, this conversation really started about a week and a half with Mr. President Bergeron, which has now trickled over to Attorney Neal, which has helped us out a lot in that with some some additional background information to help us go forward with that. And I want to just thank Ms. Neal and President Bergeron for getting this started again, and I'm looking forward to getting it started and working with everyone or anyone from the community that's interested in becoming a part of the board.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. So we have a motion and a second, so members vote your machines. 9 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries. Item B, Planning and Zoning Commission, one expired term, applicant must reside in the city of Houma. Mr. Ronald Lambert submits application and resume for consideration. This item is being pulled, but I do have a speaker card for Mr. Lambert. Did you want to address anything, or are you going to skip?
I want to skip. I didn't know if I had to tell you I have to.
No, sir.
I'm 3/10 of a mile outside the city. That's not close. The reason why.
Why don't you just go ahead and come to the mic, sir, since you do have a speaker card.
My name is Ronald Lambert. I reside, I'm not tall enough. My name is Ronald Lambert. I reside at 124 Saxony Drive, Houma, Louisiana, 70364. The reason why I submitted my application with a resume, because when I retired as the accountant for City Court of Houma in September 2019, I decided to have accounting, bookkeeping, and tax return office in my house, and I had to go through the process of the Planning and Zoning Board. So I figured that I was a good fit, being I knew what you have to do. But I'm 3/10 of a mile outside the city. I cannot apply for this board. Thanks for the consideration, and thanks, Ms. Sammy. Are you around? Oh, there you are. Thanks, but thank you. Sorry I give you some trouble.
Mr. Lambert, thank you for always trying to be a part of the community. We appreciate you and others like you. Mr. Babin?
Just know, Mr. Lambert, that other positions on the planning commission may be coming up, and one of them may be that you qualify for, okay? This particular one had to be from somebody from the city, but other positions on there are not. I served 8 years on the Planning and Zoning Commission. You're right. It's a very good one. We have an excellent director.
And I thought I live in the city because I get city electricity.
Go figure.
Fooled you.
So I guess I decided not to pay my electrical bill anymore.
Well, sir, I think you're gonna have to answer to Ms. Candace, and that's not where you want to go. Thank you again. Item 6, monthly engineering reports. As per Mr. Trusclair, second Mr. Pledger. Members, vote your machines. Nine yeas, 0 nays, motion carries. Item 7, vacancies to various boards, committees, and commissions. Recreation District Number 2-3 Board, 3 expiring terms on 5/31/24. Recreation District Number 3A Board, 1 vacancy. Recreation District Number 4 Board, 1 expiring term on 5/24/24. Coteau Fire Protection District Board, 1 expired term. Municipal Civil Service Board, 1 expired term representing the council. Terrebonne Parish Tree Board, 1 expired term. TARC, 3 expiring terms on 5/31/24. Announcements, Mr. Parish President, do you have any announcements, sir? None. Council members, Mr. Brian Pledger.
I would just, since we're at the end, I would just like to wish my wife a happy anniversary and tell her thank you for allowing me to come to meeting tonight. And she's in the audience, so for the next 4 or 5 days, guys, if I don't answer my phone, it's because she told me I can't. Thank you.
And I don't want to date your age, but how many years? 20 plus years. Congratulations. Putting up with this guy. We love Mr. Pledger. Motion adjourned, Mr. Babin. Second, Mr. Champagne. Members, vote your machines. 9 yeas, we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. CIS, Cardiovascular Institute of the South, the highest quality cardiovascular care available. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality.